Physician training in the U.S. is different than Europe because U.S. medical schools require a bachelor's degree before admission, while in Europe, schools are admitted right after, or students are admitted right after high school. I think it's that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
I'm glad some of them are obvious no's.
Yeah. Consider two investment streams, W and Z, which pay out some amount, WT and ZT, in each period T. The amount may be negative in some periods. If the interest rate is exactly equal to the internal rate of return of WT, the net present value of choosing W over Z is, I got this wrong on the quiz. Like I don't know what.
I got this one wrong too, but I was looking at it early.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember.
I just gotta find where it was in the book. I remember looking at this after and it made more sense, but.
Is it in chapter 5?
I'm gonna look. I think I remember on the quiz too, so I don't remember if I got it right or not. And yeah, after we're done with this, I have a question about last week's quiz. So I'll try to remember it.
Let's see here. Where'd that go?
Let's see.
So I cannot find it in the book right now.
Yeah, I'm looking up and see if I can find it on my quiz here and see if I got it right or not.
Was it in chapter 5 around page like 84?
That's where I thought it was. I just can't seem to find it now. Oh wait, hold on.
Is it
Okay.
0?
I think.
Or
I think that's what I put, and I thought I got it wrong, but maybe I did get this one right.
Okay, so let's see.
Well, I put positive because I was guessing, and it was wrong. So.
Okay, so we can rule out positive.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'm trying to rate. So I have. I don't know if I have a question that was worded like that on my quiz.
Oh.
It wasn't worded like that. So I have one that the only thing that's similar to it is said the internal rate of, it was a true or false. It said the internal rate of IRR is defined as the interest rate that makes the net present value of an investment stream exactly equal 0. And I put false, but the answer was true.
Right.
And I don't know if that.
I had that one on my quiz too. I remember that one.
I think I did too.
Yeah, I didn't have this question.
Oh. There must be different versions.
Yeah.
So if the interest rate is exactly equal to the rate of return of W, then the net present value of choosing W over Z okay, so if the interest rate is increasing at the same rate as the internal rate of return is, that means the money you put in is you're going to have to put in more money to get the same return.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the interest rate is increasing as the rate of return is also increasing. So like, let's say like, for example, milk increases to $2.50. You're still getting the same amount of milk, but you have to pay the same amount of money. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like, I would think this would be 0.
That's what I was thinking too.
because then your value of choosing W over Z, I mean Z, if it's giving the same amount of return but it's not increasing, but W is, then it'd be about the same and investing either one with a rate of return.
Okay.
They're equally.
That's what I would think.
Right.
Okay. That was a really helpful example. Thank you. Because I read this and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I was tired.
Yeah, I
These
think
questions
it's
are
too. So if they're equal, if it's equally attractive, then it's 0, right? Then the value.
That's what I would.
So
Yeah.
if they're equal, then there's no value up or down. It's 0, right? So
Yeah.
okay.
Now, for example, if the rate of return was increasing, but the interest rate was increasing but at a lesser rate, then it would be a positive because people would want to buy W over Z because they're getting more of a return with less of an investment.
Okay, that helps. Okay.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
The internal rate of return, IRR, for physicians is generally higher than other professions. That's what I put on the quiz, and I think I got that right.
Yeah, that's what I did too. I did have that one on my quiz, but
yeah. Okay.
You guys put it's generally higher? I think it's what I put.
It's generally higher than other professions. Okay. The fact that physicians are earning monopoly rents indicates that they are greedy. They must have all taken economics courses. There are barriers to entry in the market for physicians, or it's unfair for fast food workers not to earn at least $15 per hour. So for me, it would be option C. There are barriers to entry in the market.
That's what I picked too, and I had that question on my quiz.
I didn't have this on my quiz, but that's what I think was the answer.
Yeah.
I did have it on my quiz, and that's what I answered, and it was right.
Okay, cool. 5, most of the hospitals in the United States are nonprofit. Which of the following is not a possible reason to explain the existence of nonprofit hospitals? There are organizations that are altruistic. People trust nonprofit hospitals more than for-profit ones. Many nonprofit hospitals are actually for-profits in disguise. Nonprofit hospitals can issue stocks more easily. Following is not a possible reason to explain the existence.
So I thought this one was, C, but on my quiz it was wrong.
I don't think I had this one on my quiz.
I didn't have this one either.
Yeah, I did. And I put nonprofit hospitals are actually for-profits in disguise, but I'm pretty sure it was wrong. And I was surprised by that. But
well, I think I remember reading something where it said that nonprofit hospitals. Oh, I can't remember. Don't listen to me right now. I'm trying to remember. Okay.
we're looking for nonprofit. Here.
What page?
It's on page 112 where it starts. It's section 6.4, nonprofits and hospital production.
Got it.
Okay.
So looking over this quickly, I think it's nonprofit hospitals can issue stocks more easily.
Right, because they can't. So it would not be a possible reason to explain it. The wording is so, I think for me, for this question is what is throwing me off. So it's not a possible reason to have a nonprofit hospital. Yeah. And so
and the only way, like at least that I've understood from economics and business and accounting and stuff, is stocks only happen as if you're making profits or you need money.
Right. And it says in the reading, Nonprofits are forbidden from selling stock to raise capital or formally distributing profits to owners.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I agree
So I would
with that one.
I think it's D.
Yeah, there's a section on 114 that says nonprofits as for profits and discuss.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's just a sneaky way to say it, I think. Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
So question 6, medical arms races, since they are a form of private competition, lead to socially optimal levels of technology acquisition by hospitals. True or false? And why?
I think I had this on my tech quiz, and I'm pretty sure I got it right. I think it was false because but I'm not sure. Let me go check and make sure that
I didn't have this one on my quiz.
I didn't have that one either.
So it's false because the existence, and I got it right. It was the existence of insurance moral hazard and asymmetric information can distort the market. And I remember reading that somewhere in the reading, but I can't tell you where. So wherever it's talking about it, but I remember reading that in the reading somewhere.
It's on 110 and 111.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the definition of it. So
I agree with that then.
So you guys good with that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 7, if a patient with no ability to pay visits an ER at a hospital, he can be legally.
It's D. He always said it was safe care. Yeah, it's D.
That's right. I agree. In the United States, hospitals. I had this one on my quiz too. Mine is B. Generally depend on physicians for patient referrals.
Did you got it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got this one wrong. Let me see. I think I got one wrong. I think that's. I don't know why.
I don't think that was on my quiz. So.
Okay.
Or no, I did get it right. That's one I did get right, and it was the same answer. Generally depend on physicians for patient referrals.
Okay.
Okay.
In a DRG payment system, hospitals receive payment according to, I forgot about this one.
The initial diagnosis.
The initial diagnosis, yeah.
Oh, that's the diagnosis one. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that. I just put D with diagnosis on the payment system so I could remember. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Question 10. The Herfindahl-Hirschman Index, HHI, is usually used to indicate competitiveness of a market. For example, or for hospitals, the market HHI is usually
isn't it very low usually? I don't think I had it on the foot, but isn't the competition in hospitals low? I know I read it, I think.
Yeah. It is because hospitals have certain things that no one else has. Like they have so the hospitals kind of have like a little bit of like an oligopoly, which is like where a few businesses kind of own everything.
Right.
Like if there's certain things you have wrong with you medically, you have to go to like a hospital. You can't go to anywhere else.
Right.
So like that's why their competition is low.
Yeah.
Compared to groceries, in Rexburg alone, there's like 5 different grocery stores. So like if one person doesn't have it, then or it's too high, you can just go to another one.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So fairly high.
And in the reading, I actually have it highlighted that on page 109, the hospital markets in the U.S. are not very competitive. And that's under the HH index. So I would say low. A, very, well, I don't know if it's A on yours, but it's very low, right?
Oh,
yeah, it's very low.
Okay.
Okay.
Open your textbook to pages 84. I think
that means
84 to 85. Yeah. 84 to 85. Discuss net present value, NPV. Oh. Ask or answer at least 2 questions. Ensure each person participates. Summarize 2 things you learned from this discussion that you didn't understand before your group meeting. Okay, so I don't feel like I understand this this formula. So if anyone, I get the discount factor stuff that's right below it. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
But I don't understand this.
I don't really understand. I'm struggling on the homework with it too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from what I understand of it, is it's basically like, it's kind of like another trade-off. So that's like majority of the stuff you're going to learn about in economics is always a trade-off to everything. And this is like the value of your current time or current income over what your future income could be. So like, for example, doctors, they go to school for, 8 to 12 years and they incur a lot of debt doing that.
Right.
And so it becomes like a trade-off. It's like, well, how much time do I have to put into schooling and education to earn a certain income? Like what income is it that makes it worth that? So like, if I understand this right, the more time that you spend in school or at play or leisure, it discounts from your future earnings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. So
So like,
kind of like they talked about the patience, like having patience. So if your internal rate of return is high, then that means you have more patience and you're
Right.
willing to wait longer for a better financial return. Is that kind of, I don't know.
so like if your internal rate of return is high, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be earning more money, but you're also going to be spending more of your leisure time, if I understand that correctly. So like, it talks about doctors in this chapter at the very beginning. It talks like doctors are some like the longest working shifts out there. Like some of them can work more than 24 hours at a time and all this crazy stuff. And like, but they are paid very well for it. And then the more they work, the more they're going to make. But they're trading off time doing other things.
Right.
So like one way or another, you're going to have a discount in some form of your life, if I understand that correctly.
Okay.
So like I said, if you're in school, you're going to be discounting from your future earnings because you have to be getting trained to be earning that money.
Okay.
And then if you're in work, if you have a lot of patience, you'll be earning more money, but you have less free time. If you have less patience, you earn less money, but you have more free time.
Okay.
And like the formulas are confusing because they use like Greek letters but at least like if I understand it correctly, that's what I get out of it.
Okay. That helps. Yeah, that helps.
So basically with the more patience equals less leisure time now, but more money in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less patience equals more leisure time now, but less money long term.
Okay.
That kind of, okay.
That's what I get out of it.
Okay.
Because like if you look at like so on definition 5.2, the internal rate of return, the equation.
Yeah.
So like, let me make sure this is right. Yes. So like what that's saying here is like the summation of your income and like the present time period over the interest rate.
Okay.
And then it's subtracted from the summation of your interest rate in the future time period over that interest rate.
Oh, okay.
So like all it's saying is like you add up the time you do now and it subtracts from the time you're going to have in the future or vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is great.
Yeah, all that big I mean, I'm sure you guys probably know this, but all that big E is a summation.
Okay. That's great. Okay, well, that helps me, so I don't feel like
Yeah, that helps me.
And hopefully I'm understanding correctly. I'm not explaining to you guys wrong, but
no, that's good. I just sometimes I don't know. It's helpful to get to talk about it, so thank you.
Yeah, I think sometimes talking it makes a huge difference because it just.
Yeah, and hearing someone else's interpretation.
Yeah, this was a hard one. This was a hard one, especially in the formula. I'm like, this is killing me. So
yeah,
and I am not a math-minded person at all. So it's and nobody in my house is either, so nobody can help me. So I'm like, I don't know what to do here. But hey.
Yeah. And the hard thing with economics is like sometimes it's not even like the math that's difficult. It's trying to understand how the formula works and putting the numbers into the formula correctly.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm gonna get to the homework and be like, I don't know where anything goes. So
right.
Cool. Well, Isaac, is this your thing? Do you like this?
So I'm a financial economics major.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're in our group then. So
thank goodness.
I get it. I get a little bit. Sometimes it still confuses me. But.
Okay. Very cool.
Sweet. Okay. So
right.
What's that?
So we do our own summarizing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put the URL in again.
Okay.
Okay. And then we just gotta list everyone's names.
Yep. Okay.
Do you guys still have a C listed as on your quiz?
Yeah, I do.
Is it just because she hasn't looked through the written ones yet?
Well, I went through like where you can go through your grades, like you can go through what is it? The class progress, and you can go down to quizzes and you can look at them and see, and it still shows that it hasn't been graded yet. So I'm hoping that she just hasn't graded it yet. But I figured by next week's quiz, if the first one hasn't been, I'm gonna just send her. I'll just send her an email. I was just gonna send her an email and figure out.
Yeah, I think what it is right now, it just graded our first 10 questions automatically.
Right.
And then these last 3 haven't been graded because she has to look over them.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And this isn't related, but it just made me think like she must be grading because I've been doing like traveling this week, and I had to turn my homework in like right at the last second on Saturday, and it locked me out because I didn't upload everything in time, and I emailed her and I still haven't heard back from that email. So I think she's just got grading she's working on. So
yeah, I imagine it's a lot of grading. So
yeah, me too.
Well, and I think because I have got one of my homeworks great, and I think she really does go through everything.
Yeah, I noticed feedback from the first homework too. So yeah, I would assume so.
Which I'm so glad about because that's like the hardest thing about online classes is if professors don't give you feedback and you get something wrong,
right?
It's like impossible to try to figure it out on your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice that she does and then she does her meeting time,
Oh yeah, the office hour.
And explains a lot of everything and makes it a lot easier to understand. So
thank goodness. I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't watch that. So okay. Well, thank you guys. I'll post the link right now. So
do we want to do Thursday next week or this time again?
Oh, that's right. We changed it. I'm pretty good with whatever.
Yeah, I can be flexible too. So if Thursday works for you guys, that's totally fine. And if you want to do earlier, that's good too. So
yeah, I think Thursday is usually a good time for me. I usually work on this class on Tuesday and Thursday mornings and
Okay, so
do we want to go at like 9 though, bump it up so it's earlier, or do you want to keep it at 10:30?
I could do 9.
I can do 9.
Okay.
I'd
let's do
rather
9.
do earlier and just, so if we do 9 would be, okay.
Okay, so the 18th at 9 a.m.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, okay, thanks.
Thank you guys. Have a
Thank
good
you
week.
guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.